the bustling economy of the United Arab Emirates and Middle East as a whole. An economy which is so full of activity that everyone wants a piece of the action from all corners of the world. Sri Lankans too are looking at expanding their businesses to the Middle Eastern market, to the UAE, and also so many are looking for potential employment opportunities. Welcome to Dubai. Well, that is a phrase, a statement, or rather welcome to UAE, is a statement and a phrase that so many bustling entrepreneurs are looking forward to hear. Now, in today's BISNOMICS episode, we will be speaking with a very special individual, someone who can help you to expand your business and your career to the Middle East as well. Please join me in welcoming none other than Mr. Lushan Herath, joining us all the way from Dubai, and he is the Managing Director and founder of L&D Project Management Services. Lushan, welcome to BISNOMICS, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Tarindu. Thank you for having me here, and you are doing an amazing job, and congrats on that. You are giving a lot of value for a lot of entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. Amazing, congratulations, and welcome to Dubai for everyone.
Well, I believe those are the words that many are waiting to hear, but let's talk about the process of getting there especially. Now, let's talk about, absolutely, let's talk about the UAE as a market for entrepreneurs. What is the potential, and most importantly, I believe we are talking about UAE alone is an economy close to about $400 billion and beyond. Now, let's talk about the business-friendly nature of this. Tell us the potential that UAE has for Sri Lankan entrepreneurs. Let's start with that.
All right. Especially about when I'm talking about Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, I want to start with something a little bit away from the our topic today, just for a 30 seconds. Normally, like when a lot of Sri Lankan entrepreneurs at the moment, they have all the resources, all the talents to come to the Dubai and start the business. But sometimes, overall entrepreneurs, sometimes they take time. They are in the comfort zone. So I just want to give from my experience, sometimes where the magic happens when we come out from the comfort zone. So you have a talent, you have a capacity. I'm always, Dubai is the land of opportunities, first of all. So the first question you ask, why Dubai for entrepreneurs? Why Dubai best for the business? Right. First of all, the leadership Dubai have. The vision, all the leaders are visionaries in Dubai. They make the Dubai is more investor-friendly country. And also they think ahead 10, 20 years ahead, they're thinking how to make Dubai more grow. How can Dubai make number one in business destination? How can we make Dubai number one in tourism? How can make number one in medical, medicine, education, infrastructure? The leaders are visionaries. So that kind of country, when you want to open the business, things become very easy because everyone have the same goal, grow. As entrepreneurs, we need to grow. So Dubai, why I'm doing around 20 years of experience of Dubai, why is one of the best location to best country to open the business in Dubai? Because one of the reasons is leadership. The second important thing is the taxations. At the moment, Dubai have zero tax on income tax. And also, you have 100% whatever you earn, income, the profit, you can repatriate for the home country, not like other countries. So that benefit we have. And also the connectivity. Dubai is a trading hub, the financial hub. It connects the East and West. And a lot of people around the globe going through Dubai. And past 10 years, the Dubai government has launched a lot of initiative to encourage entrepreneurs around the corner to come and do the business in Dubai. Likewise, one is the last 2 years we launched the golden visa. For more than 2 million investment, they have a 10 years golden visa for the whole family. Irrespective of the age of the kids, they have the golden visa. So these are one of the main things. And also the UAE have a second largest airport and 12 the ports in Dubai, commercial ports. So it's a trading hub, accepting multiple currencies, connecting, and the UAE government have many amazing relationships with a lot of good economies, Russia, the Asia, the China, India, US, a lot of trading agreements, free trade zones, and the many free zones, depends on what you want to do in Dubai. But likewise, there are a lot of benefits by opening business in Dubai. And it's very friendly country. There are 200 plus nationalities live here. And you feel like very homely when I'm coming. Like when anyone comes, what first thing they said, I feel very homely. I feel very welcoming. you get used to the things and the procedures and when example, especially when you open in the company setup, everything is digital, everything is very straightforward, provided by you have correct consultancy, provided by you have correct guidance, everything's very straightforward, everything is easy. So that's why I feel like UAE is one of the best destination for the entrepreneurs.
Well, your statement certainly makes me want to take a flight and come and start business there. That was how attractive it was, Lushan. Let's talk about where the real opportunities are, because UAE is considered a mature market. They've been a successful
Yeah.
business market, business destination for a very long time. So many established
Right.
players, the leading advertising agencies, leading logistics players, everyone is there in that region. But you're saying still there are opportunities even for new players.
That's true. Why? Because why I'm telling that? Because the UAE keep growing, they keep people coming up, they keep new incentives giving for the investors like golden visa, and they keep new free zones opening up, and they keep more. The industries like example, the oil, only the oil provided by only 25% of the GDP, the tourism, the banking and finance, the mining, the transportation, logistics. So many other industries are booming, and also the UAE need more investors, more talents to come to UAE and grow with the UAE. So opportunities are always will be there. The new people coming up, new industry setting up. So always UAE is growing, and UAE want always to be number one airport. You want to be largest shopping mall, the largest building, everyone. UAE want to be number one. That's the UAE vision, the leader's vision.
Lushan,
So
when
always,
I hear you, when I hear you speak, I remember the time I visited the Dubai Mall, and I visited 4 times, and I ended up feeling that I went to 4 different malls all the time because it's just so massive, and you're spot on with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Lushan, when we spoke about this interview, and you said one thing very particular which struck me very strongly. You said a lot of people think that UAE means Dubai, but you said UAE means so much more than Dubai. There are so many other countries or states.
Yes.
Talk to us about UAE beyond Dubai.
Yes, UAE means it's 7 Emirates. One is Dubai, Abu Dhabi is the capital, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, Fujairah, Al Queen. These all governed by different economic departments, but the rules are almost similar. And also, all the free zones, all the Emirates have different kind of free zones. So when you want to come to Dubai, and when you want to set up a business, depends on your business module, depends on your budget, depends on your target market. You can choose. You have a lot of options. Either you do in Dubai, or you want a little bit reduce the cost. You can move to Ajman, Al Queen, Sharjah. That you have vast area to develop, and also the business. You have a lot of areas to penetrate inside the UAE.
What is the process of setting up a business in the United Arab Emirates? Let's talk about that on the other side of this short break. This is BISNOMICS, and we are in Dubai today. Welcome back to BISNOMICS. We are being joined by Mr. Lushan Herath from the United Arab Emirates, Dubai to be specific, to talk about what it takes to really take your business to the UAE and thrive there. Lushan, let's talk about the next element, the exact process. Now, you are an experienced consultant in this area. You have consulted hundreds of individuals and enabled them to come and launch in Dubai. Good on you. Well done. And talk to us about the process of what it takes to really start setting up a business and operating in the UAE, or maybe Dubai to be specific. Over to you to demystify this process.
Thandu, if you take the general process when we're setting up the company, first of all, we need to know what business we are going to do. What's our business module? Like who's our target market? Either we target the UAE or we targeting the outside the UAE. Example, we are manufacturing UAE, but we are export to the outside or import export. So this we need to clear about what what activity exactly we are gonna start. So once we know the activity, then we need to know the budget, like how much is the budget, and also how many employees in the beginning we're going to hire, because some free zone, example, if you're going to free zone, there's a visa packages. So first thing is we should know the exact activity and what's our budget, and initially what's our operation module, what's our target market. So once we clear everything, of course, as a consultant, we can help you on that, all our clients. So once we agreed, okay, this is the business I'm going to do, this is my target market, then we will choose which free zone, or whether you want to open in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, or if it's the free zone, because some activities you have to do in mainland. Example, we are looking at the retail shop. So if the retail shop, you have to have a place in mainland. That's it. That means each uh, Emirates, Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, Mal Queen have their economic mainland, controlled by the economic department of the each Emirates. So we can, if you want to open up business in mainland, so the licensing process is different, but everything is straightforward once we know what we want, our vision. The first thing is, once we know the activities, what business we want to do, and the second thing is where we were gonna do, either mainland or free zone. That also we can case by case. After we know all the information, we can advise, okay, since your business, you need better is free zone, or better is mainland, because you need a shop in mainland, or you need the office space in mainland. For the free zone, you don't need the office. Even the flexi desk office is enough. So first the activity, then we choose which jurisdiction, and we open the company. So second thing is our name. Once we know the activity, once we know the where we going to open the company, then we need to know our name, which name we want to put. So second stage is the name approval. So what the process might looks like lengthy, but it's just 1 to 3 days process until get the license. So once we know the activity, once we get the name approval, after 1 day's time, we get the license. That means 1 to 2 days time. So you're officially, you can have your agreement, you can sign the agreement, you can do the customer meetings, supply meetings, you are legally, you have business in UAE, United Arab Emirates. Then the second, after the license, we need to get the visa, the residence visa. That's the most important thing. So we need to get the residence visa. Before that, there's a medical. The medical process, after we do the medical, once the medical report comes, within 4 to 6 working days, our visa will be ready. So first stage, license approval, 1 to 2 working days. Then the visa approval, your visa will be stamped on your passport between 5 to 6 working days. Then the UAE Emirates ID, UAE national ID, or the Emirates ID. So after we get the visa, we need to do the fingerprints and the apply for the Emirates ID. It will take up to 20 working days. The whole process until the Emirates ID, up to 20 working days. Then the other important thing is opening a bank account, because we need to receive the payments, we need to give advance, we need to sign the checks. Example, if you want the office space, we need to give the checks. So these things, we need the bank account in UAE. That's one of the most challenging at these days, opening up the bank account. But with the correct documentation and the consultancy services, we can easily do the banking account. So once the banking account open, you're fully fledged, ready to go. So it's almost, I'm talking about 1 month time to A to Z until the bank account.
Your knowledge on this matter makes it very clear that you are very thorough and you know what you are talking about, which I believe is important when helping so many entrepreneurs to come and launch in the UAE. Lushan, now let's talk about one of the main challenges that Sri Lankan entrepreneurs face in Sri Lanka these days is due to lack of forex. You can't make payments for inbound certain raw material, and there are so much of challenges. But I believe when you come to Dubai, I think the story is different, because Dubai is seen as a major global financial hub. From your experience, how does the position of Dubai as a financial hub in the Middle East, how does it really help businesses, both in terms of paying for imports and earning for any exports?
Thank you. First, it's a very good question. First of all, the UAE have 21 local banks and 38 foreign banks. When you're opening up the bank account, you get multiple currencies. The UAE dirham, the dollars, sterling pounds, euros, sometimes Japanese yen. You have multiple currencies you can have access, and everything is digital. Even once you open the account, even when you come back to example, you're coming back to Sri Lanka, still you can do all the payments without staying in Dubai. And you can, since it's a trading hub, You can do the transfers anywhere in the world, supported by the documentation, of course. You have that flexibility, and even UAE accept cryptocurrencies. You can do a lot of payments to the cryptocurrencies officially. So that benefit is there. And so you can do the easily your supplier payments, and you can open the LCs any part of the world, supported by all the documentation. You can receive payments supported by the documentation. You can send back the profits, our mother Sri Lanka dollars. No one asks any question. So that flexibility we have in UAE, banking systems are very flexible, financial systems are very flexible, even the lendings we take it, everything is flexible. When you have a correct the strategies, and when you have the correct documentation on that, so I feel everything is easy. Honestly, doing business is becoming more easy in Dubai. They ease up the regulations. Even the banks are very supportive, very understanding. So they want to grow as a country. So they have a one vision. So even so, this come to the payments and the supply payments, customer payments as well. So it's very easy overall doing banking and the finance in UAE.
Lushan, some very good points there from you. Let's talk about the main matter of when it comes to doing business in the UAE. What about the aspect of what we call as the cost of living? Because an investor coming in, he or she has to live in Dubai or live in the UAE. Initially, the business is not going to give you millions of dollars of profits and all that. So
That's
you need to
true.
carefully manage your living expenses and all with what you have. And
Yeah.
there might be an entrepreneur who has earned in rupees, now bringing in the rupees, and we all know the dollars, the dirhams, they are all becoming very expensive. I'm not quite sure of the exact rate as at now. I'm sure you can enlighten us on that, the rupees to dirham rate. But how do
Yeah.
you advise that an investor manages their cost of living and cost of like doing business in Dubai, especially living as a person? You need money to live. So how do you manage that cost of living or the personal finances, at least in the initial bit?
See, Dubai is the first of all luxurious place. So when you're coming from the countries like Sri Lanka, India, especially when you're bringing your earnings, and when you're not still earning, start earning in UAE, you have to be very careful. So first of all, you need to have a lot of backup. At least if it is business, at least for 6 to 12 months backup, you need it for sure. When you for the rent, for the transport, for the food, because the conversion rates at the moment is one dirham equal to 105, 106 rupees, where it was 30, 40 before. So day by day, it's getting expensive when you're bringing investment from the Sri Lanka outside the country. So you have to be very careful. You have to manage what you have. You have to plan it accordingly. You have to have proper research that we also can advise. Even a lot of clients when it comes to Sri Lanka, Lushan, what can I do? How much I should bring? Like how is the rent? So I ask, what's your budget? How much you have? So don't bring all your savings and put everything on the company setup and you expect the profit come. No, it's not a good story. Especially business, when you are new, it will take 6 to 1 years. So you need to know exactly. Dubai is like luxury lifestyle, but still, every budget there's options. Dubai, that's a good thing. And the cheap to really really expensive are there. So you can choose your like accommodation or it depends. Like I said, I said 7 Emirates. Even you set up the company in Dubai, you can still live in like a Sharjah, Ajman. The rent's a little bit cheaper. So according to your budget, you have to know how much I'm gonna, example, invest in company, how much I have till my business start running. So you need to have backup, very good backup. You need to have at least for 1 year for the business people. So then rent and the infrastructure, so rent and the transportation and the day-to-day food, maybe the kind of little entertainment. So you need to have backup. So if the starting from, if I'm telling like let's say example, if the cheapest one bedroom, it's around 2,500 to 3,000 dirham. That means around 3 to 3.5 lakhs per month. I'm telling about cheapest. So the food depends. Like if you're cook, let's say food also like maybe 1,000 to 2,000 dirham. That means like 1 lakh to 2 lakh dirham. So overall, you should have monthly if you selected a very minimal lifestyle, but the quality of the life is amazing in Dubai. That I should tell. The food quality, the accommodation quality, the transportation is amazing. So if you bring it like on like a if it's two people family, like 5 lakhs to 6 lakhs, you can manage in the initial. Depends on what lifestyle you choose.
Thank you
I'm
very
telling
much,
you about the
Lushan.
starting lifestyle.
I believe you said the picture right there. We are going to come back to you on more details on this matter. We will be back after this short break. This is BISNOMICS. Welcome back. We are talking about taking your venture, your entrepreneurial venture, all the way to the UAE and what you need to know about it. And we are being joined by an expert on this subject who is none other than Mr. Lushan Herath. Lushan, let's talk about the common mistakes that people do, because people are all the time sometimes getting caught to some of the scams involved with regard to starting businesses in Dubai. We see these being advertised all the time. But when it comes to taking your entrepreneurial venture to Dubai, what are the most common mistakes and pitfalls that people must know to avoid? And especially with regard to legal aspects, because the last thing you want to do is come with all your savings, spend half of it and realize that you are now facing a legal issue. How can we avoid these matters, and what are the common pitfalls to avoid? Enlighten our Sri Lankan entrepreneurs.
Yes, actually, that's a very, very good question. A lot of our Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, when there's too much search on internet. So my advice is, of course, you should go through the primary research on internet. You should get the basic data, but do not depend on the only the data we find on the internet. You should have a proper consultant who experience in this subject. Because sometimes on the online, when you search a lot of information, you will not get exactly what you want, or it might not match with the what activity you want to do. So first of all, you need to find very good professional consultancy firm to get the correct advice to guide you. And also, if you talk about the pricing, so a lot of online advertisement, the Facebook advertisement, I have seen a lot of people advertising starting from 5,000 dirhams, starting from 6,000 dirhams. So there's a hidden cost involved. So you should be, whenever you ask the quotation, you should ask them, until my Emirates ID or bank account open, please give me the quotation, the fully fledged quotations. So we need to be very careful to get the pricing. But in the scam, in the sense, it's very, very minimal. I could take money and people run away. These things happening in Dubai. So the scam side is very, very minimal ratio. So most of the mistakes people doing doesn't have a long-term vision. Most people have money, but they don't know what gonna do in Dubai. So being clear what you want, what customers you want to cater, what activity, what's your business vision. Being clear on that, you can minimize a lot of things. In terms of legal aspect involved, if now most of the companies no need local sponsor or local agent, where before most of the companies they need not 100% ownership, only the free zones, or they offer the 100% ownership for the expats or foreigners. But now, since I told you Dubai has become more and more easy for the set up the business, the promoting the Dubai as a best investment hub, so they have reduced the local sponsor or local agent requirement. So now most of the around 120 plus activities have without 100% owned by the expat, can have a ownership. So if you have any activity like where the local agent or sponsor required, especially for service industry, you need to have a local, not the sponsor, but local agent who the Emirati. So you should have a proper agreement on that. It's mandatory. You should have a proper agreement by a lawyer. Other one is when you're doing the business after business setups, even when you're signing agreements, intellectual properties, you should get the advice from the lawyers. So especially in terms of this is the legal aspect. Mainly thing is when you're signing agreements with your customers, suppliers, or other authorities. Plus, when you have the local sponsor, you need to have a clear understanding each other. You should have a notarized proper agreement. So otherwise, everything is very straightforward. Everything is on the apps. Everything is digitalized. All the information, even your renewals, come to trade license renewals, all the message is in the app. So all is very straightforward in Dubai. That's what I told you, very easy to follow. Even the rules and regulation, very straightforward. Easy to follow. So when you're aware what you're doing, and if you're careful about the making agreements and with your customer suppliers and the or when you're doing a service, you need to have proper agreement. When you have that kind of setup, like a legal support or one lawyer with your company, not like for the advising, then we can avoid a lot of pitfalls for the legal aspects and the lot of mistake that you will do in the beginning. Of course, you do business sometimes mistake, but you will learn through that. So otherwise, I mean, pretty much it's everything clear in UAE.
All right, thank you for clarifying some of the concerns and pitfalls to avoid there, Lushan.
Yeah.
Lushan, now we spoke about entrepreneurs a lot, but let's talk about coming and starting your career in Dubai. There are a lot of citizens in Sri Lanka who would love to start a
Yes.
new career in Dubai. What are the new job opportunities available for them, especially for professionals?
All right. Actually, in this case, the UAE, as I told you, is keep growing, keep new industries growing up, keep new people coming up. Like same like entrepreneurs daily coming and opening a business. That means the daily that we need talents. We need the experienced talents. Example for the education sector, pharmaceutical sector, banking and finance. Is major. We need a lot of talents in UAE. Construction side, a lot of QS workers and engineers are working in UAE. Tourism side, mining, all those, even the e-commerce side, technology. See, UAE, as I told you, only 25% coming on the GDP coming from oil, other 75% coming from the other industries. So we keep UAE need very good talents. Of course, we have a little bit challenge where because around 200 nationalities live in Dubai. So you have to be very confident on when you come to UAE and you have to be very good at experience, the education level. If you have all these three, I think you have a lot of good opportunity to get a job in Dubai, and it's a very good place to earn because there's no income tax.
How open is Dubai to allowing Sri Lankan citizens or any citizen from any country to look at a hybrid work model where they can partly work in Dubai, come back to their home country and work as well? What kind of opportunities do you see there, especially for Sri Lankans, maybe on areas like education or technology? What are your thoughts on this?
See, in this matter, last year, UA has introduced one program for the remote working, but that is anyone can live in Dubai and remotely you can work in your home country. So that is for the people who want to live in Dubai and remotely you want to work in home country. Of course, there are some rules, like example, above $5,000 salary, like that. That is for the people who want to live here and work somewhere else. But otherwise, in the opposite side, at the moment, UAE only doing the outsourcing at the moment, like example, so call centers, customer care centers, like that for outsourcing. Most of the banks outsource the operation team for India or other Asian countries. So like that, but individually at the moment, so UAE not much looking for the remote workers, you can work in UAE company but living in some other country. But there's a new the freelance visa system has offered. So any the talents like we can actors or sportsmen or the digital marketers or the makeup artists, all these special talents can have freelance visa. So you don't have to depend on one company. If you have a good talent, you can come to UAE, you can apply for the freelance visa, or accountant, engineers. So you don't have to be stuck to one company. You can be a consultant. You can have freelance visa for 2 years. That option is available.
So, Lushan, on a final note, in terms of the public infrastructure of UAE, what are your thoughts? The transport, healthcare, what are your thoughts on that as an attractive destination for entrepreneurs?
In UAE, the infrastructure is amazing, especially for entrepreneurs. There are 55 free zones available in entrepreneurs across the 7 Emirates. And that means there are a lot of activities. Some free zones are specialized in some activities like a Dubai Science Park, Dubai Healthcare City, Dubai Media City, Dubai International Financial Center. So you have a different jurisdiction and very high level infrastructure for all the free zone for encourage entrepreneurs. And the public transport is amazing. We have the very cleanest metro ever. I think Dubai metro is the UAE metro is the world cleanest metro. And the public, the buses, transport, and also, for entrepreneurs especially, the vehicle prices are very cheap, no taxes. So most of them, if you're earning good, when you start moving a business, you can drive actually any car you want. You can have your dream car here very easily. So that's why Dubai is my favorite city, because a lot of entrepreneurs come in Sri Lanka. They love the cars, they love the luxury lifestyle. When you start earning from your business, so you can easily afford for these luxuries. So especially infrastructure is amazing, and the everything supporting for the citizens. The residents. The country's vision is like that. Country's vision to be the happiest city in the world. And just for information, there's a ministry called Ministry of Happiness in Sri Lanka. So there's one minister only take care of the people happiness.
In Dubai,
Even
you mean? In Dubai.
in Dubai, yeah.
Right.
And
Understood.
Dubai, I mean overall UAE, the Minister
UAE.
of Happiness. So each of the government officers have a small office for the happiness. So any customer want anything or complain, you can complain, and it goes to directly to the rulers. So that's
Understood.
much they are concerned about the people happiness, and the so they want to make it everyone happy in UAE.
Lushan, Herath, was an absolute pleasure to have you with us today, and thank you for demystifying the process of setting up the business in Dubai. And I hope that you will be able to support many more Sri Lankan entrepreneurs and make them hear the magical words, welcome to Dubai or welcome to UAE. Wishing you good luck.
Habibi, welcome to Dubai.
Wishing you good luck and all the best. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tarini. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
A bustling economy, an economy full of action. You as an entrepreneur too have the potential and the opportunity to be a part of it. And I hope that as you look for greener pastures and horizons for your business, you too will consider the UAE, and you will be able to perhaps, and I hope so, make the next big success story a Sri Lankan business success story in UAE. I'm Tharandu Amarasekara, and until we meet again, have a profitable week ahead. And maybe you will explore some profit pockets in the UAE. Have a good week ahead.